How's it going, everybody? It's Nick Chino from VigilanteDetective.com, and welcome to my latest rock album review for the 5th studio album from Canadian rockers Arkells. It's called Rally Cry. Rally Cry is the follow-up to 2016's Morning Report and 2017's Morning Report Deluxe Edition, and Arkells are from my hometown of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. I've had the chance to meet the guys and interview them a bunch of times through my work at Y108, the radio station, and Arkells have a lot of local love. They did a show this past summer at Tim Hortons Field, the big stadium, the big football stadium here in Hamilton, and it was called The Rally. It was a gigantic show. It was them and a bunch of other bands doing a big local show that was a way for them to give the love back to the Hamilton music scene, as well as bring in people from the surrounding area to come check out Hamilton who don't come here very often. And this new album, Rally Cry, kind of continues with that theme. When it comes to my favorite records from Arkells, I really enjoy their debut record from 2008 called Jackson Square, which is named after a mall in downtown Hamilton. It's got great songs on it, like Ballad of Hugo Chavez and No Champagne Socialist and John Lennon and Oh, the Boss is Coming. It's a great record. And I also really enjoy High Noon from 2014, which had songs like Leather Jacket and Never Thought That This Could Happen and Cynical Bastards and Come to Light and 1111. These guys got a lot of great songs. When it comes to records that I don't really love from the Arkells, I'm kind of like one off and one on. So I don't really like Michigan Left from 2011, and I wasn't really huge on the Morning Report album from 2016. I didn't really love songs like Private School and Knocking at the Door. That said, I was looking forward to checking out this new album from Hamilton's Heroes, Arkells, and when it comes to their sound, they kind of have a little bit of kind of like a new school indie rock sound mixed with a classic rock sound. So I have a little bit of Bruce Springsteen in there, a little bit of Motown in there, and this album kind of continues that sound for them. The thing about Arkells that I love is they're just a really, really tight unit, and the performances and production on this album kind of reflect that, which I really enjoyed. When it comes to songs that I liked on this album, highlights for me included American Screams, which had a really cool kind of disco beat to it. It got me moving. Nice guitar, nice bass. It was kind of like Foster the People meets disco. Really enjoyed that song. One of the singles from this record, called Relentless, shows that this album has a really funky center to it. Like I said, these guys really gel well as a unit, and the production on this album is really tight and enjoyable. It's got a really nice funky center to it, which is really cool. And it kind of reminds me of another band that I really love from the UK that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago called The Kooks. It's just kind of the same kind of deal, kind of indie rock mixed with those really great classic rock influences that make this album really enjoyable. Other songs that I enjoyed on this album include Only for a Moment, which I thought would kind of sound like a rewrite of their hit 1111 from High Noon, but that's okay. It had a nice vibe, like an 80s kind of synth rock ballad. Show Me Don't Tell Me, which was a U2 kind of esque song with Edge-esque guitar. It could be an outtake from Joshua Tree. That's kind of like how much it sounded like U2. Lowlights for me on this record include People's Champ. It had nice production and performances, but the song itself just kind of grated on me. I didn't really enjoy that. Don't really kind of agree with the choice of a single. You know, there's better songs in this album they could have released, and I'm sure they will release them. Eyes on the Prize, which had some really cool gang vocals on it and some kind of soul-infused backup vocals, but the song itself didn't do much for me. And it has a soul kind of speech from Max Kerman, the lead singer of Arkells, who's a great vocalist, but he's kind of doing this kind of soul speech on it, which I didn't totally buy. This is a kid from Southern Ontario, Canada, trying to do kind of like a Southern gospel preacher speech, and that didn't totally work for me. There's another song on this album that I didn't really like. It's called Saturday Night. It sounds like something off the Michigan Left album, which isn't a totally bad thing, but the melody didn't appeal to me at all, and it had a very Billy Joel-esque sound. And don't get me wrong, okay? A little bit of Billy Joel can be cool, but too much Billy Joel can be not cool, and I think this song was kind of on the not cool side of the spectrum. Too much Billy Joel for the musical diet can be very unhealthy. In terms of lyrics and themes on this record, like I said, it's kind of continuing from the big show that they did in Hamilton last summer. There's also a little bit of political stuff on this record. Max Kerman doesn't shy away from talking about Trump a little bit in his lyrics, and that's fine. It's not done in an overt way that distracts from the music. He's just, kind of making it modern. He's infusing it with current themes, and I think that's really cool. The first half of the album was a little bit stronger for me than the second half of the album, so I'm going to give the new album from Arkells called Rally Cry a 6 out of 10. Rally Cry is also a quick listen. It clocks in around 36 minutes and around 10 tracks, and I did enjoy it overall, but it didn't really surpass some of the past Arkells albums for me, like Jackson Square and High Noon, which I thought were albums kind of like chock full of hits. They had great singles, great album tracks, and this album didn't quite reach that for me, and I'm going to give the new Arkells album, Rally Cry, a 6 out of 10. Alright guys, let me know what you thought of the new Arkells album, Rally Cry, in the comments below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your fellow rock fans on the internet. Check me out at vigilantedetective.com and on Twitter at The Walking Nick. We'll see you guys in the next rock album review.